He captured everyone's smiles, except his own. On the corner of Elm Street, nestled between a bustling bakery and a quiet bookstore, stood Evergreen Memories, the photography studio of Mr. Alistair Finch. For 30 years, Alistair had been the town's chronicler of joy. He photographed first steps, graduations, engagements, weddings, and golden anniversaries. His lens saw it all, freezing, fleeting moments of happiness into timeless portraits that adorned the walls of nearly every home in town. If you walked into his studio, you'd be greeted by a gallery of smiling faces. Babies giggling, couples gazing at each other with pure adoration, families wrapped in warm embraces. Every photo was a testament to his skill, a perfect capture of human connection. But if you looked closely, you'd notice something missing. Amidst all the laughter and light, there was no picture of Alistair himself, not one. He was a master of his craft, known for his gentle demeanor and his uncanny ability to make even the most camera-shy person relax. "Just one more," he'd say with a soft, encouraging voice. "Let me see that real smile." And they always did. He'd find the spark in their eyes, the genuine curve of their lips. Yet, the man who spent his life capturing happiness seemed to have misplaced his own. His days were a routine of light meters, focus rings, and soft-spoken directions. He'd arrive before the sun, develop film in his darkroom, the scent of chemicals, a familiar comfort. He'd edit photos, meticulously ensuring every detail was perfect. In the evenings, he'd lock up the studio and walk home to his empty house, the silence a stark contrast to the joyful echoes of his day. One crisp autumn afternoon, a young girl named Lily skipped into his studio. Her mother, Sarah, following close behind. Lily was celebrating her 7th birthday and wanted a special portrait. She clutched a small, slightly worn teddy bear. "Mr. Finch," Sarah said warmly, "we're here for Lily's birthday photo." Alistair's face, usually a mask of quiet professionalism, softened slightly. Children were his favorite subjects. Their joy was unfiltered, their smiles effortless. "Of course," he said, his voice a low rumble. "Welcome, Lily. And who is your friend?" Lily held up a bear. "This is Barnaby. He has to be in the picture too. It's his birthday too, you know." Alistair chuckled, a rare and quiet sound. He spent the next hour with Lily, not just taking photos, but playing. He let her peer through the camera, explaining how it worked in simple terms. He made funny faces to make her laugh, a genuine, bell-like sound that filled the studio. He even took a portrait of Barnaby, sitting alone on the stool. As they were wrapping up, Lily looked at the gallery wall. "Mr. Finch?" she asked, her voice filled with childlike curiosity. "Where's your picture? Don't you like to smile?" The question hung in the air. Sarah looked a little embarrassed, but Alistair simply paused. The smile he had worn for Lily faded, replaced by a familiar, distant look. "I'm the one who takes the pictures, little one," he answered softly. "I'm always on this side of the camera." Lily tilted her head. "But who takes a picture of you?" Her innocent question struck a chord deep within Alistair, a note that hadn't been played in years. That evening, as he developed Lily's photos, her smiling face, looking back at him from the chemical bath, he couldn't shake her words. "Who takes a picture of you?" He thought back to his own childhood. His father, also a photographer, had been a stern, demanding man. Photography wasn't about joy. It was about technical perfection. A young Alistair was always the subject, forced to sit still for hours, his father barking orders. "Don't fidget. Chin up. Smile. No, not like that. It looks fake." The camera, for him, had become a symbol of judgment, not joy. He had found refuge on the other side of the lens, where he could give others the happy experience he'd never had. The next day, Alistair did something he hadn't done in 30 years. After locking up the studio, he turned the key back, walked inside, and set up his oldest camera, a vintage model that had belonged to his father. He placed it on a tripod, aimed it at the stool where thousands of happy people had sat, and set the self-timer. The first click was a disaster. He looked stiff, awkward. A ghost of his father's criticism echoed in his ears. He tried again and again. Each photo was the same. A man who looked like a stranger in his own studio, his lips pressed into a thin line. He was about to give up, the familiar weight of old sadness settling on him. When the bell on the studio door chimed, it was Lily and her mother, there to pick up their photos. Lily saw what Alistair was doing. She ran over to the camera. "You're taking your own picture," she exclaimed. Alistair felt a flush of embarrassment. I was just testing the light." Lily wasn't fooled. She looked at the camera, then back at him. "You're not smiling, right?" she said matter-of-factly. She grabbed Barnaby the bear and shoved him into Alistair's hands. "Here," she commanded. "Hold Barnaby. He makes everyone happy." Alistair looked down at the worn teddy bear in his hands. It was absurd. A grown man, a respected professional, holding a child's toy. But then he looked at Lily, her face full of earnest belief. He felt a strange crack in the armor he'd worn for decades. A small, genuine smile touched his lips. "Quick, Mom, take the picture," Lily shouted. Sarah, seeing the moment for what it was, rushed to the camera. She didn't know how to use the complicated device, but she saw the timer was already set. She just pressed the button. Click. The flash went off, capturing the moment. Alistair, the photographer of Elm Street, holding a teddy bear, with a real, gentle smile on his face. For the first time in forever. The next morning, when the townspeople walked past evergreen memories, they noticed something new. Right in the center of the window display, surrounded by photos of joyous families and beaming graduates, was a new portrait. It was a simple, black and white photo of Mr. Finch. He was holding a small teddy bear, and on his face was a smile as bright and as genuine as any he had ever captured. He had spent a lifetime capturing everyone else's joy, but it took a 7-year-old girl and her teddy bear to help him finally find a piece of his own. And from that day on, Alistair Finch didn't just capture smiles. Decided Tim. He learned that the greatest pictures aren't just about perfect lighting or composition. They're about connection, about shared moments, and about remembering that sometimes the person behind the camera deserves to be in the picture, too. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who makes you smile. See you next time.